Hello, my friend, and welcome again as we consider and think once more about faith promise giving. We've previously discussed Hannah in 1 Samuel chapter 1 and Peninnah, who was her adversary. Hannah and Peninnah were both married to Elkanah, and every year they would go to the tabernacle to offer sacrifices unto the Lord to pay their tithe. And that was when Peninnah would give Hannah a difficult time. And so Hannah went before the Lord and prayed, asking God to give her a son. And she said, Lord, if you will give me a son, I will give him back to you. And that was a vow she made unto the Lord. She asked according to God's will. She said in 1 Samuel 1:11, if thou wilt. She was asking according to God's will, if this is your will. 1 John 5:14 through 15, and this is the confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. And if we know that he hear us, whatsoever we ask, we know that we have the petitions that we desired of him. Isn't that a wonderful promise, beloved? It's a wonderful promise that God gives. Now, here's what God usually uses: a person who is yielded to God's will and purpose. God's purpose, a prophet for Israel. God's person, Hannah, available to God's will. Is helping to spread the gospel God's will for you, my friend? Are you available for him to use you through faith promise? Are you willing by faith to make a vow to the Lord to promise him a certain amount if he will give it to you? Let me give you an illustration of Bethel Baptist Church in Lawton, Oklahoma. In 5 years, through faith promise giving, the people got involved with, and they went from 7 to 35 missionaries, giving twice as much to each missionary as before. Also, they had extra funds to meet unexpected missionary needs. Also, the church finances moved from a bare existence to an abundant provision for every need, according to the pastor, Forrest Keener. God blesses faith promise giving. Yes, the joy of fruitfulness. Why? 2 Corinthians 9:8. And God is able to make all grace abound toward you, that ye always having all sufficiency in all things may abound to every good work. Faithful stewardship, 1 Samuel 1:20. Wherefore it came to pass when the time was come about, after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, because I asked him of the Lord. Hannah's responsibility. When Hannah had no son, she would give no son, and God required no son of her. But now she has the son she requested. Do you suppose the thought occurred to her, you know, I wanted a son so badly, and now I have a son, and only one son. Would God really be so unreasonable as to expect me to give him up? Do you suppose that thought might have come to Hannah's mind? Christians often do this. God sends in money, but they forget the promise, or they feel they need it for some other need. Consider, the wider you open your hand to give, the more God will lay in it. Hannah keeps her vow. 1 Samuel 1:24 through 28. And when she had weaned him, she took him up with her with 3 bullocks and 1 ephah of flour and a bottle of wine, and brought him unto the house of the Lord in Shiloh, and the child was young. Here we see she's keeping her vow. And they slew a bullock and brought the child to Eli. And she said, O my Lord, as thy soul liveth, my Lord, I am the woman that stood by thee here praying unto the Lord. For this child I prayed, and the Lord hath given me my petition which I asked of him. Therefore also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he liveth, he shall be lent to the Lord. And he worshipped the Lord there. She left Samuel there at the Lord's house to grow up and to serve the Lord. She pays her vow willingly, even giving more. And when she had weaned him, she took him up with her with 3 bullocks and 1 ephah of flour and a bottle of wine, and brought him into the house of the Lord in Shiloh, and the child was young. It is more blessed to give than to receive, beloved, and God always outgives you. He really does. He'll be a debtor to no one. 1 Samuel 2:21, and the Lord visited Hannah so that she conceived and bare 3 sons and 2 daughters, and the child Samuel grew before the Lord. Oh, beloved, don't you know she was thrilled and grateful that she took Samuel and gave him to the Lord after the Lord gave him to her. And then God blessed her abundantly with more children. Israel is furnished with a prophet, and thus God's message. Hannah has a son who's being used to God's glory. Hannah, who was barren, now has 5 children at home to love and enjoy. Luke 6:38 states, give, and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, shall men give unto your bosom. For with the same measure that ye measured, it withal, it shall be measured to you again. Beloved, you gain by giving to the Lord. He will bless you as he's promised. God always keeps his word. Until next time, my friend, goodbye.